What up? We out here streaming. My boy Keenan just getting his stream hooked up, and he gonna be on his in a minute. You can see him on mine right now, but
I can hit start streaming instead of manage broadcast.
start streaming and then manage broadcast, and then you have to select that one and then start, and then hit go live. Or you can hit start streaming and hit go live. Pull up. So we just letting him get his stuff straight, and then once he is up and running, we can get rocking.
This auto start is disabled for this event. Click go live.
Yeah, just hit go live. Should have been intoxicated. Pull up. All right.
God damn, they're making me sign in and shit again.
This dude, Ken. What's up, y'all? Oh shit. I don't. What up, Ice and Keenan? Glad to see you guys back on the stream. Yeah, we back outside, man. We back outside. Got the Shun gang outside talking about some anime. Y'all ain't even watch old anime. That's crazy. I need to. Where is my chat? What happened? You said you gotta sign in.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, my chat is not letting me. It's not letting me sign in on the chat from OBS. I guess.
Oh.
It's like it's just right now. It's loading for whatever reason.
All right. Are you live though?
Yeah, when I clicked on my link, it would show that I was live.
Okay, shit. Well, fuck it. I mean, you can look at the chat if you go to your YouTube. You can pull up the chat. I mean, it's showing your screen, so you can hold on. Let's do this. You can just pull your chat up, and then you see it on YouTube.
Yeah, I see it on YouTube.
You see the chat on YouTube?
For whatever reason, I'm on YouTube and it's popping up. But now I got like 1,000 screens. I guess I'm not trying to show that screen on.
Yeah. So what you can do is you can go to your chat, pull up that window, and then slide it over to where your picture is, because your picture is gonna block the chat. What's up, y'all? What's up, Mike? What's up, Thug Nasty? DK, what's poppin', dog? You get what I'm saying? Look at your OBS screen, and it should just be me.
Yeah, I made the screen bigger, and then it's just showing the chat on the side, so I can just cover the whole thing.
Yeah, I mean, you can just, if you slide the chat to where your face is, then they won't be able to see it.
Bear with me, guys. I'm an old nigga, bro.
Damn.
Yo, Ice been helping me hook this shit up for like over an hour.
Almost 2 hours.
We started like at 4:40.
4:40.
6:20. We just now got it cracking.
Okay, and I thought 20 minutes. I was like, all right, got a little 20-minute buffer. We can go through the motions and stuff, and we'll be all right. No, nigga, we needed more than 20 minutes.
Everything was wrong on my end. Everything, bro. I was getting frustrated. Yeah, so I just made my screen bigger.
What's up, y'all? Shit, chilling. How you? Man, we good, DK, man. I wanted to get my boy on the stream with me. Y'all, we were supposed to stream the other day, but we on there now. It's not like the animation of the past where we just, have topics. I mean, not have topics. You'll have a show and go over specifically, but I think there's been an ongoing conversation these past couple days on my chat on the anime group that we got on Instagram, through conversations Keenan and I had yesterday about like old anime and if they stand the test of time. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. One of the things, which is why Yu Yu Hakusho was the point of reference, which kind of started this whole conversation, because on my chat I had a confession that I've never watched Yu Yu Hakusho. There's obviously I've seen bits and pieces, but I've never like actually watched the show in its entirety. And when I brought that up, that kind of brought up a whole different I guess opinions about it. Some people loved it, some people didn't. I asked some people what would they give it around out of a 7,000. Some people were saying 7,000. I mean, what would people give it out of a 9,000? Some people was giving it a 7,000. There was some 6,000s, and then other people was like 3,600. And it was a Keith. Keith said 3,600. 3,650, but 2,650 of that was the opening song. So he really gave it 1,000, which is insane. But then other people started chiming in and was agreeing with him and saying that, yeah, it didn't really hold up. So this is kind of about Yu Yu Hakusho, but also too is just the bigger conversation of like old animes and how they hold up. So while we're talking, obviously chime in and interact with us, but I want to hear from you. If you give me one old anime that did hold up, and one anime that hasn't held up. So, chat, give me one old anime that held up, and then one old anime that didn't hold up. But how do you feel, Keenan? How do you feel about Yu Yu Hakusho as a whole? Like, what would you give it out of 9,000?
I mean, I didn't finish it. I got to season 2, and that's what they say. Everything is where everything comes together.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I understand Keith's gripe when he started anime so late in the game that sometimes old school, like the old school visuals can be rough to watch. I don't know what it was. Dragon Ball Z's visuals were pretty damn good from back in the day.
Right.
But I feel like original Hunter x Hunter and Yu Yu Hakusho, I was watching it. It's so slow, choppy, rough. It's just like when we first watched it, I was just like, shit, this is kind of a. But then I understand, like, I'm a big fan of Yusuke just throwing the hand. So for me, I think I would give it like a 7,200 at least from what I've seen so far. And then when I got to the Dark Tournament, whatever it's called, and they out the gate just throwing hands.
So the Dark Tournament is in the second season.
Yeah, because it's like I think I forgot if he fights first or not. And then I think Yusuke, he's like knocked out. I forgot why he's asleep. He's like knocked out or asleep. And then when it's time for him to get busy. He fights this dude, and they just not to spoil, but it's just like pretty much them niggas is just swinging.
Yeah,
like it's just literally Yeah. And I was just like, all right, this is because getting active in here.
And that's the thing too, where people, another thing that I've been seeing that kind of also made me want to watch Yu Yu Hakusho is a lot of love for the Dark Tournament. A lot of people have been making content bigging up the Dark Tournament, and they've been talking about it like, yo, the Dark Tournament is the best tournament in all of anime. And I'm like, hold on, wait a second. Hold on. Ain't no way the Dark Tournament better than the damn tuning exams. There's no way. I mean, from what I've seen, I want to watch the whole Tournament of Power in full, but I don't know if it's better than the Tournament of Power. I think there is a couple different tournaments amongst anime to say that the Dark Tournament is the best one. I don't know. I gotta watch it, so I don't know. But I find it hard, like the tuning exams, because that Gara Rock Lee fight that you like, that happened in the tuning exams. So if they got something that's on par with that, then maybe we can have that conversation. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see. I think that's kind of tough because I mean, the Tournament of Power was. At least for me, it was so hyped. The animation was so good. When you saw Goku go Ultra Instinct for the first, it was a lot of different things. Now, I will say there were some issues where they dropped the ball because in the manga, Gohan got a lot more active, and he got a bigger W in the manga. Yeah, but I do feel like the Tournament of Power to me will be peak tournament I mean, I like that shit from Hunter x Hunter too, man.
The Heaven's Arena.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah, but I mean, God, there was kind of getting active. I mean, there was some stuff they could have did better. They could have probably showed some more fights in there. But like,
that's when Hisako was having his biggest hard on when he was fighting, going in the Heaven's Arena. I was like, all right,
Gum Bungee, whatever.
Yeah, Bungee Gum.
That nigga was wilding.
Baki tournaments. Mike said Baki tournaments are some of the best. Baki has some. I feel like the Baki tournaments though, like they were kind of over before they started. Like they broke down the tournament so much that I didn't like. Some of it was good. Some of the shit was outrageous. When Baki was good, it was really good, and when it sucked, it sucked. Like this is trash. Yeah, I think that when it comes to like older animes, I mean, I've always as much as I call Dragon Ball Z the GOAT, you know, and it got me into anime, just being objective about anime, I mean, about Dragon Ball Z, it's not that great. Like, you know, the peaks are great. Obviously, you got Trunks coming back after Frieza. You got the Frieza saga, but it's just so much shit that happens at certain points that it's like you grade it on a curve because it's what got you into anime, and it will always be in my top 5. But if I were to tell a new anime watcher to watch Dragon Ball Z, and they said that they didn't enjoy it, I can't really screw my face up at them.
I'll be honest with you. A lot of old school anime, if they just started watching now, like if you Trigun, that somebody said DJ B said Trigun still holds up. I call it Trash Gun for a reason.
Hey man, Trigun's one of my favorites. So you got me. Whoever your DJ friend is, shout out to you, man. You're a good man,
bruh. But here's my thing. I think Naruto, One Piece, all these. If you start these right now, I can see people being like, and you already started like, let's say Demon Slayer, Jujutsu Kaisen, and you got used to that pacing, and you go back and watch the old school OG, you might be like, what we watching right now, bro? Like,
and I think
slow, all that.
And I think that's kind of what's going on right now. I think we're in a spot right now where, you know, 2020, we saw a huge boom in anime. Like anime had reached levels that we haven't seen before, like a level of popularity, I guess I would say. And, you know, it carried on to 21, 22, 23. But I think 24, we kind of hit, not necessarily a wall, but you got Demon Slayer not having nothing right now. Jujutsu Kaisen going away for a little minute. And then, you know, different animes to where it's like, you know, the ones that got people in the door, they're all on hiatus right now. So then now you have it open to where it's like, well, what should I watch now? And then you have OGs like you and I recommending different things, but the stuff that we recommended doesn't have the pacing of the new gen stuff. So
yeah, because even like I think that's the thing. It's like one, I think they should stagger it better. Whoever's just running the anime world, like, hey man, when you have Jujutsu rolling, don't have Demon Slayer rolling, and then when Jujutsu ends, Demon Slayer pops on so we can have some stuff going. But because even right now I'm watching Daima, and Dragon Ball Daima is like the pacing right there is slow right now too. It's a little silly, and if you're watching, you're probably like, all right, bro, like we don't really care for you to slowly create this world. We kind of have an understanding, especially if you watch Dragon Ball already, you kind of have an understanding of certain things when it comes to even the demon realm and some of the stuff like that. We don't need you to, like I said, that first episode it pissed me off because it was like, it was a recap of Dragon Ball Z. I was like, what are we doing here? Like, you wasted 35 minutes.
And we already know this. Or it's not something that we could have watched a YouTube video.
Exactly. It's like, we needed to rewatch that. You do a 5-minute recap real quick if you want to, and then you go from there. But I don't think we needed to do it the way they did it. So I think that's going to be the issue with some of these OGs. Is just like the pacing is so bad. At least it seems like it's bad now because back then this is all we had. We had to go home, watch Toonami, and the pacing to us, we weren't tripping because it's like cool. You know.
We had development. I mean, my son is the same way. I think I was talking about this last week. It's just like, you know, my son growing up loved Jason and Friday the 13th and stuff. But I'm like, have you ever watched Friday the 13th? He was like, no, because he liked the video game. And I was like, let's actually watch Friday the 13th. So we watched it, and he's just like, man, this is boring. And I'm like, no, it's not boring. It start to take, you know, the plot has to develop. Like, stuff has to happen. You got to know who fucking Jason is and what got him in this spot and everything. And then shortly after that, we watched Scream, and he was like, "Oh, this is dope." But it's like the first 5 minutes, somebody getting killed. So it's like young people's attention spans is trash. So it's just like they need like we didn't have no choice. So I feel like our attention spans was kind of forced to be longer because of what we was watching stuff kind of week to week. Even you more than I, because by the time I got into anime, you know, we're a couple years apart, but those couple years is a big difference from a consumer standpoint. Because by the time I got into anime, we had VHSs and we can watch all of it. Yours was still coming out week to week, but even then, I still had a longer attention span. But now these kids these days, it's like I guess because I sound like an old man, but it's like because of TikTok and all this other stuff. It's like give it to me quick, and I think they had anime like a Demon Slayer and a Jujutsu Kaisen to match that, and then now they're forced to watch something else. They struggling.
Yeah, that's exactly what DJ V said in my chat. He was just like, "Yo, the pacing is just different because of right now how our attention spans are," and that makes perfect sense. It's like, you know, shit ain't gonna last long if you don't capture people.
Yeah,
it's just like, you know. But my thing is, you don't have. I think if you can start off episode 1 giving us something, and maybe a little bit episode 2, and then start the pacing, slow down the pacing episode 2 to 3. It's like you don't have to. I think once you get people grab early on. You know, I think that's what Jujutsu and Demon Slayer did. It got me pulled in early on. Yeah. And so now they can take a few episodes to tell a story and give us a little. They can slow the pacing down a little bit and then give us a little bit here and there. But it's just like I think that's kind of the new wave. I don't know if it's going to ever change. You know, when it comes to attention spans, unless something happens with the internet. But right now, you know, people appreciate storytelling for sure, but I think you gotta capture us that first episode, or at least that first few minutes of an episode. So I think I was watching the Elusive Samurai, and I was like, "Whew, all right, come on!" And then it was picking up in episode 1, and then episode 2, I was like, all right, I was locked in. Yeah. Well, yeah, I think the pacing thing is just it's going to. I mean, that's why you saw Kai pop out a little bit differently. I'm surprised that Diamond's taking this long, to be honest. But super kind of...
Did Toriyama make Diamond?
Yeah, I think that was like his last project. I don't know how far... I forgot how far he said he got in there. But I know that he definitely was... He kind of created that world a little bit. I don't know how far he created that world, though.
Toriyama was like, "Hey, man, I don't give a damn. Like, I'm just here for the hardcore fans. If y'all want that new pacing, then take your ass over there to Demon Slayer, nigga. We gonna do it how we want to do it over here."
I mean, this season 1 is gonna probably be like, what, 40-something episodes, because you give us 12.
Yeah, 12 of a slow pace. But on the other side of that, there's nothing worse. And, you know, from us being in animation, we've come across so many animes like this to where it come out the gate crazy and it never matches that the rest of the anime. And that be pissing me off, too. Because it's like, if you're going to come out, heads getting cut off, blood everywhere, swords fighting this, and then y'all drinking tea for the next 11 episodes, it's like, bro, why did you come out like that if you wasn't going to sustain it?
Well, that's the thing. You gotta give something in those episodes. I think you can slow down the pacing and you give us like a fight scene in there that's kind of crazy, and then you go back to the slow pacing. To me, it's like, because I look at even the pacing of like a Gurren Lagann. It was like I felt like the pacing was solid, but you know, to me, it just wasn't interesting.
You didn't like Gurren Lagann?
That's what we watched for the podcast, right?
Oh yeah, we did watch it. I Gurren Lagann is dope.
That shit was fun.
No, you're tripping. You're tripping. You're tripping. Bro. Kamina, man, rest in peace.
We stopped the podcast before we finished it, and I just.
We did. You never finished it.
I watched like 2 more episodes, I think, and I think I might have talked to Rob about it or something. I was just like, I can't do this shit, bro. I can't. It was just.
Did you watch the old Hunter x Hunter?
That's what I started with before I watched 2011, and I was sitting there like. I was saying with that. I was like, "Oh," I was like, "Damn, this shit is kind of rough."
You didn't like that animation? That animation was kind of hard.
To me, that animation it's like Yu Yu Hakusho. So
no way.
The original Hunter x Hunter.
The original Hunter x Hunter, it has way better animation than Yu Yu Hakusho.
Way better. It's crazy because I don't think it came out too far afterwards.
I'm not saying it's the top. It's just like, I mean, Akira came out before both of them, and they got way better animation. But it's I just think that dark old '90s. I feel like that Hunter x Hunter is an epitome of that '90s style animation, which
Oh, for sure,
I feel like they
it
should
is.
still do. They can't get away with it still if they wanted to, if they polished it.
I think that they did it that way. It just needs to speed up. You know, I guess from a standpoint of like the fighting could be sped up still.
Yeah.
You know, everything like just.
Yeah.
It's like it's so slow.
Yeah, frame rate, yeah.
Yeah, the frame rate is so slow. But I think if you kept that style, 'cause I do like the '90s visual style in the sense of like, for some of the anime, but it's just like I don't know what it was. I feel like maybe the pacing, I mean, the frame rate of Yu Yu Hakusho was the reason why too. Because if they keep that same animation but keep the frame rate up,
Yeah.
I think for Yu Yu Hakusho, you know, I could probably even just rewatch the first full season. But I mean, at the end of the day, too many people say Yu Yu Hakusho is one of the GOATs.
Really?
And one of the it has the best. They say it has some of the like probably the best first two seasons in anime. Like,
Really?
I don't ever hear anything about season 3 or 4 or whatever.
They kind of forget about it. It's kind of like Tokyo Ghoul. Like after season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul, everybody's like, "Yeah, we're done."
You hyped
That's
it
it.
up too. You was like, "Man, Tokyo Ghoul, top 3 of
Top,
my
yeah, top. Hey, Tokyo Ghoul was lit.
Nigga, and then we watched season 1, and you was like, I mean, it's like it's not what I remember. Huh?
Yeah, cause I watched all of it together, so I didn't remember. They didn't. I guess when I looked at it on Hulu or whatever the case was, it was all together. So I didn't know that they broke it up into season 2. So, but y'all even said it those last 2 episodes of season 1. Y'all was like, "Oh, this is hard as hell," and then the rest of season 2 was like those last 2 episodes. But when Tokyo Ghoul after season 2, it switched to like Tokyo Ghoul Re, and that stuff was not nowhere near in the same type of anime. It took a whole different turn, but Tokyo Ghoul was one of my favorites because I love horror and I love horror anime. So
I mean, to me, that was like that part of it was up my alley. So like the horror animation part, and you know, it was a little gory. I was like, I'm all in. Somebody was like, Steel Rock 33 said he's like, Hunter x Hunter animation was like Yu-Gi-Oh. I'm like, I don't remember it being like that. To me, Yu-Gi-Oh's colors were popping a little bit better.
Yu-Gi-Oh came a little bit later and with better colors. But like, I mean, I guess we can pull it up. Let me see.
Like, I mean, I feel like Yu-Gi-Oh also, you didn't have to have the frame rate being too crazy.
These fucking boots.
How you want to do? You want to pull it up on yours? I guess I got to pull it up on mine.
Yeah, we can pull it up on both.
What are you pulling up? Yu-Gi-Oh?
No, I'm pulling up. What's the thing called?
Hunter x Hunter?
Yeah, 90s Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, because I think even what's the name? I think even Canary looked a little bit. They made her look like a coon, bro.
They did?
I feel like there was like a shot in there where she looked kind of weird. I was like, I didn't like this.
California's leading newspapers are all warning about Prop 33.
You say,
San Francisco Chronicle says 33 is a recipe for disaster that makes it nearly impossible.
This is a whole 10-hour. Yeah, Gon look all washed up, bro. What are we talking about here, dog?
Gon looks washed up? Hold on.
Like his color looks kind of washed. Like his green is not green popping. But I do like I'm starting to remember again like the 90s style of like mine ain't playing the audio though. You did. Yeah, it's still so slower paced. That's all it is. And I think we're so used to.
Yeah, they got that shit. Oh, that shit. Like they clothes look better. The outfits look better. Gon looks. I like this a lot better.
Really?
I like this a lot. They look like humans.
I'll give you that.
Nah, this shit hard, dog.
I got my screen was all in the way. My bad, y'all.
Yeah, that's how I had to go look at my OBS and kind of see it, like line it up so you can see it. I'm trying to find something going on so I can see if.
Yeah, same. Let me see. Trying to get into the action. This is like the first 32 episodes.
Yeah, that's what I'm watching too.
Oh, so hold on. We in the.
There might be more magical beasts out tonight. I wouldn't make a very.
I think we're about to get to when Killua smack old boy up.
So here go Hisoka. I'm right where Hisoka and I'm on episode. I'm on 220. I'm on episode 8.
Let's see you try.
You gotta give me a time thing.
The time is 2:28:19.
Magician of the century in an exclusive performance. Please enjoy.
Yeah, the frame. I give it to you. The frame rate is a little because he's not actually like slashing through people. It's just like still frame pictures.
Yeah.
So I get what you're saying.
But that's all I'm saying. It's just like it's not like it's. I think if they even kept this style, the frame rate is quicker. But I will give what you said. They said they feel a little bit more human. They don't feel like they're anime characters.
Right.
Yeah, too stupid.
You know.
This isn't right. The exam shouldn't be allowed to end like this.
I like the way Killua looks on here.
Yeah, Killua will look dope. He got like, and you can see that his shirt got like he got a turtleneck underneath a shirt. Like you can see that. Like you can see the layers of people's clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
That dude was a fuck nigga. That dude that was hustling him that whole time.
Yeah.
He's gonna look weak on this one.
Yeah, he don't. To me, I think in the
his colors, they kind of washed him out. Like
he's faded. They threw this nigga in the dryer. Hella
That nigga is dark. Nigga is light black.
Hold on for just a second. Hey, what do you think you're doing?
I don't know, man. I think it's pros and cons.
Listen, I have to.
It's definitely pros and cons, cause it's definitely pros and cons. Kind of looking at this, cause it's like they all together, and yeah, I think if you take each a piece from each one.
Cause if you go to let's go to this Hunter stuff. I mean, just that one clip right there. Hold on. Like he just looks way more cleaner.
Go to the man. These political commercials and text messages are gonna put me in a pack.
A group that supports George Gascon and harasses neighborhood.
What do you say? You said go to what?
1999 Kuroro versus the Zolodicks. And started like 3:20.
Hold on.
0.1mg でクジラとか動けなくする薬なんだけど。
他人の念を盗むか特質じゃな。もし盗んだ能力を自在に使えるとしたら脅威じゃな。だがそれは盗む際。
Yeah, they look cold.
Dog, look at that.
That's hard.
That look hard, dog. That's what I was saying.
Yeah, like you said, they look more human back in the 90s style to where I feel like they just stayed whenever the line or whatever the case may be.
I feel like they had to. I feel like they had to get. I feel like they had to do. I think it was different back then. I think back then they like actually had to draw it or something. Like I feel like it was like they had to draw it, then lay on another layer, then draw some more, then lay on another layer. I think I watched it before too. Their process is a different process now versus then versus now. From what if I remember correctly.
Well, yeah, it probably. I mean, from a standpoint of like even from a computer standpoint, it probably wasn't the same either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Technology on the computer.
it's like this is quicker, but I get it too, because also then it's like this shit gonna take all day. You know, that's why some animes might have not gotten done or they took forever, is because the amount of work, because they actually drawn it versus, you know, now I'm sure they can, it's still a level of drawing that's going into it, but I feel like it's probably a lot quicker for them now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this shit looks nice, man. This shit looks good. I think it just depends on what you want. It's like, do you want realism, or do you want better fighting? And because they still, even with this fight looks like it's a little bit more animated than some of the other fights. You can actually see like the, I guess, powers and energy coming out of Carollo. So it's kind of a pick your poison. I feel like the old school and the new school both have their pros and cons.
But yeah, that's all it is to me. It's like I think you have some people that are just old school and they're not going to ever give that style. But I think as of right now, it's just because sometimes people will put up pictures and they'll be like, "Yo, I drew Jujutsu Kaisen in the '90s style."
Yeah,
and I'm like, that shit look hard. Like it looks tough.
Yeah.
But I think what it really is the choppiness of a lot of the stuff, but you know how it's nostalgia to people. It's like if they grew up on that type of style, it's like, I don't want to let that style go. It's what I grew up on. It's that's just real anime. You know how it can get to that point too. It's just like, man, people just want to enjoy the shit. Yeah, you know, it's the same
as hip hop. It's just like boom bap would not last now.
You might want to hear the like right now.
I went to the hat store and I bought myself a hat. Like, like even now. I mean, LL just dropped the album a month or two ago. I don't know what it did, but it didn't do nothing. It didn't do the his first album numbers for sure. You know, when he dropped in the 80s or early 90s. You know, so it's
he's been gone for so long. But I ain't gonna lie to you. I listened to the album. That nigga was rapping, bro.
Yeah.
And he had people on there rapping. Like LL, I think there was a little bit of old school in his style on some of his verses, but I still felt like he did a pretty good job, and like he didn't sound super dated. Yeah. Which is like when I heard some people before, like I heard some rappers and I was just like, damn, I think I had heard Rakim. This is a while ago when they were trying to first kind of bring him back out again. Yeah. It seemed like he sounded a little bit dated to me. And just like And it's like I love Rakim. It's just like it sounded like it was like early 90s. Like it was just like, man, I like from a flow standpoint, you gotta things have to change.
You know? Yeah, because you just like fish, which is my favorite dish, but without the money is still a wish.
But it's like, imagine. I think a lot of times what I would want to hear is, speaking of just hip hop in general, and that it's like I would want to see an older cat kind of skate either on a younger guy. You know, you gotta be super young, but if they jumped on, like, they don't even gotta rap with Kendrick or J. Cole, right? They could just be on their instrumental, and then they skating on there a certain way. You just like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah, they got it. I think Nas is probably the best example of that. I mean, him getting with Hit Boy and you know making the Magic series, but also King Disease and stuff like that. But it's also too, I mean, on Magic 1, I think it is, or Magic 2, one of the two, Magic 1, he got a song with A$AP Rocky, but they rapping on a DJ Premier beat. So it's like,
right,
that's like the blending of worlds where it's like, nah, Rocky, like you come over here. Because also too, on the other side, it's just like, can those old rappers get on, you know, if they used to Metro and ATL Jacob and all of these other people, can they get on a Premiere beat? Can they do even that Alchemist, who is still, you know, is still out, but he was also, you know, older. Can they do a DJ Quick beat, a old Dre beat, stuff like that? Like those older producers, can they do those? So I mean, it's a give and take.
Yeah, I think it's just the skill set and the flows of a lot of these people. It's like I look at somebody like Griselda, Benny the Butcher, and you know. Conway the Machine, all of them, they have an old school style for real. Yeah. Pew. Yeah. West Side. I'll be honest with you, they don't be sounding dated to me. Yeah. They sound like a new old school style. I don't know how that makes sense, but it does make sense.
Because they referencing, you can tell that they're still younger. Like they're not 20, but they're talking about, you know, Mason Margiela and, you know, all of the, granted those brands been around back then, but they're talking about Amiris and Hublots and all of the other newer trendy shit that people be talking about. So it's like, all right, like you're from now, but you can tell that the old school influences are there.
Right.
Which you can kind of tell. I mean, also with anime, it's just like someone like a Jujutsu Kaisen. You can tell that they were heavily influenced by the big three. You know, when you talk about Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. Even what was I watching? Black Clover. I was watching Black Clover. You can tell that person, whoever made Black Clover, is in love with Naruto because it was so many different, and you know, it was some Bleach stuff in there and One Piece. Like all of the new guys have remnants of the big three, but what I think happened was a lot of these guys were consumers of the big three and they hated filler. And they're like, yo, if I ever get a chance to make my own anime, that shit ain't gonna have no filler. It's gonna be balls to the wall, and then the side character's gonna get more love.
Shout out to them because no, I'm just tired. Nobody wants to see a baseball episode, bro.
Yeah.
Like, not saying nobody, but like, you know, it's one of those things. Like, if you're pacing us in this way, and then especially back then, you know, you're watching anime and there's no binge watching back then, and all of a sudden you come home from school before you even do your homework, you're like, man, want to step up a little food, little noodles or whatever the case may be, and then you go in there and they're playing baseball. You're like, what the fuck is this?
And you gotta wait a whole week.
You gotta wait a whole week. And they set up a whole fight. They set up a whole fight about to fight this particular person. All of a sudden now hold on, man, that fast pitch. I don't know. It's just too fast.
In the middle of a fight.
And I would just be like, bro. And then you still watch the episode because you're like, well, maybe they're gonna do this.
They're gonna have
episode.
And there's like, nothing worse to go back that next week and them niggas still don't go back to the fight, or they don't go back to the fight for the rest of the year. They go on a whole full season of filler.
And that's the thing. It's like I can't imagine that's somebody that has put the time in. That's why I understand when you put the time into Dragon Ball Z, when you put the time into Naruto, when you put the time into One Piece, when you put that time in, especially back then, you can't sit there and tell somebody that their anime is trash or that yours is better than theirs. It's like, bro, I put in too much time.
Yeah.
I'll fight you over this shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how much filler I had to deal with? You know what? Square up, bro.
Yeah.
We're in the fade. Yeah. It's like you had to go through 45 episodes of filler not knowing when it was going to ever get back to the shit.
You never know. You never, like, there was no, granted there was internet, but it wasn't like you can just pull up an anime filler list and just be like, oh, okay, I don't have to watch it for the next 20 episodes. I don't have to even hurt my own feelings. It's like, no, you had to go back every week. I kind of was in that middle part because I didn't necessarily have to go week to week because I can just watch the VHS. And that's what kind of got me in VHS because they did, like, I think the Piccolo driving episode or some shit like that, which was actually a decent filler. But something happened in Dragon Ball Z where it was some bullshit going on. And I'm like, this is crazy. Like, I can't watch this. And my camp counselor at the time was like, bro, I got all of the VHSs because this is like 03, 02, 03. So I'm like 10. So they was just like, hey, here go all of the VHSs. And I just watched all of it to where, up to Oob. I think Oob was going on. No, not Oob. Majin. Majin came. Majin Vegeta and then Majin Buu and all of them came. So, like, that was just starting. But I was still at, I think Toonami wasn't even done yet with that. I think Toonami had just finished, like, maybe the Android Saga, maybe Cell. It was somewhere around there. So I was kind of a little bit spoiled because I got the VHSs, but I remember talking to y'all, you know, you and Rob and Brennan one time in a group chat, and I was just like, oh, damn, y'all didn't have VHSs. And you was like, nah, nigga, we had to watch that shit every week. And I'm like, that's sick.
Because the VHSs is like, you know, I mean, I had them, right? But it was one of those, I didn't have them personally, but I had a friend that had them from Japan.
Yeah.
Specifically when it came to Dragon Ball Z. And then we had to, you know, watch an Amazon link.
Yeah.
Back in the 90s, an Amazon link.
Yeah.
You know, you had to so to watch it from there. So it was one of those things like, you know, I don't know. Like the VHS didn't come along until after the season was done, or unless you got like a movie or whatever, and they you know, they had a translation on there. But it was like, I had to wait till the season was done, then the box set came out.
Right.
You know, so it wasn't. You know, you would rewatch it because you wanted to rewatch it, but that's where the frustration came in. It was just like.
And Mike Hall, he made a really good comment. He said that Toonami started Dragon Ball Z Saga, the Saiyan Saga, like they did it, just kept doing it over and over because they was waiting. So they just did the Saiyan Saga. Like
that's what I'm saying. That's what we grew up to. It was like we had to rewatch that Saiyan Saga so many times. I wanted to snap my neck, bro. And it was like, and
I know there's more than this.
Because what would happen was they'll get you prepared to go to Frieza. They're going to Namek. So that's the thing. It's like they're going to Namek, and Goku's training, and you know he has a whole gravity issues and blah 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 blah. And then they'll get to like the planet, you know, where you think it's Namek, but it's not Namek. You know, it's that. And then all of a sudden he gets off there, like, "Whoa, okay, cool, we better finally go there." And then we're like, next time on Dragon Ball Z, you think it's a new episode, and then it's boom, Raditz is here. And you're like, what do you mean Raditz? And you just like you lose your mind. And then, but you know what happened? You still rewatch that whole shit 5 times.
How many times, like really, if you were to think about it, how many times did you rewatch the Saiyan Saga?
I don't know, bro. It felt like it might have been around like 4 or 5 times.
Jesus. Over how long a time is this? How many months, years? Like how long is this?
I can't give you a certain time frame. I just remember, like, as soon as the Saiyan saga ended, they were kind of recovering. Remember, they're in the hospital.
Yeah.
Sensu Bean and whatever, and then they leave. And they get ready to go to Namek pretty much right after that. And it's just like however many episodes it takes to get to like that fake planet, it goes back again. So I don't know how many episodes that is, but it's like it goes back. And
they had your ass in it. They had your ass in
there. I didn't know it got to Frieza. Like I said, I was also seeing Dragon Ball in chunks. Like I was catching the Japanese version because I had friends that had different things. I was watching the links online back then before it was whatever. So I knew what things happened already. I knew that he turned into Super Saiyan versus Frieza. And I saw how it happened, but it was all in Japanese. So I had friends
with no subtitles.
With no subtitles, no. So it was like I had I remember one of my friends, because that's when in Cartoon Network we didn't have it like that. So that was an issue when in Cartoon Network I didn't have it on top of that. I know we had this discussion before on Animation, but like on KCal 9. They never got to Namek on KCal 9. At least what I remember. So once they got to Namek, I couldn't even watch it continuously like that until I would go to a friend's house. Because he was like, yo, they're on Namek now. But she just happened. I was like, oh, what? So I would try to go over there, watch it there. And then they finally put, Cartoon Network on basic cable after that. But that was like almost like a year. Like I had missed like the majority of that Namek arc. And I was just watching it bits and pieces. And then when I finally got the chance to watch it, it was like they were already, I think, they were fighting like the Ginyu Force. They're like at the Ginyu Force.
Do you feel like that there is do you feel like you've seen every episode of Dragon Ball Z?
I'm positive I have. I would have to just go, I would have to get a refresher for sure. But so I know for a fact I have.
So as an adult, you went back and watched it, or you just watched all of them when you were young?
I mean, yeah, I can't tell you that I went back at like 25 years old and started from the beginning to the end.
Yeah. I was about
look, I did my time, baby.
We just watching YouTube videos.
Yeah, because it's like I did too much time watching the repeats so much, the restarts, that I'm just like, I'm not about to start at the beginning on purpose, nigga. Like you made me do it.
So what made you stay, man? What made you stick around? That was something that we were talking about a couple streams ago. We was like, okay, what anime got you into anime? And then what was the anime that got you to stay? Like, oh, I'm watching anime for the rest of my life. So what would it be for you? What would be the anime that got you into anime? And then what would be the anime that got you to be a forever fan?
It's so funny. Like, I all credit will always go to Dragon Ball Z to me, because it's like, I would catch spot episodes of everything else. Like I would catch an episode or two of Naruto. I would catch an episode of whatever else, whatever was on Toonami. I wasn't watching consistently as much as I mean, Inuyasha. I was watching a little bit of that here and there. And then I remember I was watching. I had met this cat, and this is years later, but it's like because there was one point in time I wasn't watching a lot of anime consistently anymore. I had stopped watching a lot of anime because I didn't know what to watch, and then I didn't know where to watch it at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I ran into that too.
And so I didn't have the links anymore. I didn't know those sites that had them at that time. So a friend of mine in stand up, he was just like, "Yo, you got to watch Death Note. You got to watch Brotherhood and Full Metal Alchemist and Brotherhood." And I will say when I watched Full Metal Alchemist before Brotherhood, I watched a regular one first.
I did too. I did the same thing.
I was like, "Yo, this is dope," and he was like, "No, you were supposed to watch Brotherhood first." And I was just like, "Oh, my bad." He was like, "Now you gotta watch Brotherhood." I was like, "Man, I ain't about to watch this shit again." He was like, "You're gonna watch it. You're gonna watch Brotherhood." He's like, "Trust me." He's like, "It's different." And then when I watched Brotherhood, I was like, "This shit might be better than Dragon Ball Z to me."
Yeah, and that's the thing about Brotherhood is just like it start out similar, and then at some point it just take a shift, and then it don't go back to the regular Full Metal Alchemist after that. It's like I'm watching it. I was the same thing. My boy told me. My boy Kyla was like, "Hey, you need to watch Brotherhood, not the regular one." And I'm like, "Damn, all right." And then I'll go to watch it, and I'm like, "It's the same shit." He like, "Bro, just stick with it. I promise you, it's different." And then it take a shift. I think somebody died. Something happened where you like, "Wait, this didn't happen in the OG." And then from that point forward, it's real.
Yeah, it's funny. But my cousin said he was watching Dragon Ball on UPN. I was like, UPN?
UPN had it? Only thing I remember on UPN is like the Parkers and fucking
the Hughley show.
Yeah, the Hughley show, and then what was the one? What was Flex Washington's show?
Oh, he had two of them. He had Homeboys in Outer Space, and he had 1-on-1.
1-on-1. That's the one I was thinking of. 1-on-1. That one, and then SmackDown used to come on UPN actually.
You did, yeah.
Used to watch SmackDown. Dragon Ball Z on UPN. I ain't never heard of that.
Yeah, I never heard it, but I guess it tells you like it was whatever you're like I said for us, you know, KCal 9 is a local channel. It's not a channel that's everywhere. So it's the LA channel specifically. So it makes sense that these places probably had to find their own kind of places to place it at. To make it make sense.
Because that's what I had to the house I grew up, my grandparents' house, and I lived there with my grandparents and my mom. We didn't have cable, but my dad did. So when I go over my dad's house on the weekend, I would just like have a 48-hour binge of anime and all of the other stuff because anime really didn't come on regular TV in St. Louis. Only thing that came on regular TV in St. Louis was like Yu-Gi-Oh! Yu-Gi-Oh! And Pokemon was the only two animes that came on. Dragon Ball Z never came on regular TV, at least when I was growing up. It was just Power Rangers, and I know it's not anime, but Power Rangers, freaking Biker Mice from Mars, Yu-Gi-Oh! and Pokemon.
Yeah.
Biker Mice from Mars was lit, though. I like that show.
Yeah, from what I remember, a lot of those 90s cartoons was just, was dope. Street Sharks was dope.
Street Sharks was dope, yeah.
They was about it. They was running through the streets. They was literally
socking niggas out.
They was in the streets beating niggas.
That's so, like, it's so much. A lot of the shit that we watched was so violent. Like, if you think about it, I don't know if it's really violent on TV now, but there was a span of time where, like, every show was socking niggas out. Like, even some of the Disney shows, niggas was getting socked out.
Yeah, I mean, if you watch anime now, the fact that remember these kids have access to everything we have access to, so they have access to the gore, they have access to these anime that you just like, yo, bro, who's like, because I'll be watching some anime now, and I don't even be thinking about kids watching it, and it's just like, wait a second, kids are most likely watching this. Like, there's a 10-year-old that probably has access to like, the most goriest, you're just like, bro, they shouldn't be watching this at this age. It's crazy. And
that's the thing too. Icy asked me like, "Hey, can I watch Berserk?" And I'm like, "Absolutely not. No, not at fucking 15, 14. You're not about to watch no Berserk. It's some other." Because I always used to think like, when they had ratings on stuff and it would be like suggestive themes, and I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, but now as an adult, it's like, like some stuff you can handle gore, but some stuff that they talking about and some of the themes of this is like you're not ready for those conversations. Like, I'm not ready to have, as a parent, I'm not ready to have those conversations with you. So it's just like, yeah, let's just stay away from that for right now.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's like it's anime is it's normally shonen, but they be having a lot of adult themes in there.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, bro, I can't. Like, I don't want to explain this to a child. Well, why is he? I'm like,
why is the boobs like that? And it's just crazy too, because like even Dandadan, I was watching Dandadan, and they got a part on Dandadan where the grandma was like, suck on my teeth so I can nibble on that dick or something like that. Pause. And I was just like,
whoa.
hey yo, hey yo.
Yeah, DJV was like, he said in the chat, he was like, they shouldn't even watch old school. What's the name? Dragon Ball, because Roshi was out here wilding, because he was.
He was wilding. Yeah, that's why he had an island by himself, because the nigga can't live on the main land.
Yeah, I mean, he might Loki. He might have charges. And
he might.
You're exiled, bro.
They do a whole backstory on Roshi because he had charges. He was wilding. They kicked him off the mainland. Damn.
It all makes sense. And right now it's funny. I wonder how they're gonna do him in here. But in Dragon Ball Diamond, everybody's a kid right now.
Yeah.
So everybody's like super young. I don't think we've seen Gohan yet for whatever reason. But
that's funny too. That's why he was sending Goku with the Nimbus to do all of the shit, because he couldn't go there. He didn't want to catch no charges.
Like, go get some groceries. And just like, why can he do this? It's like, nigga, he's banned from the mainland,
he
bro.
banned
like,
from the ban.
You can't come into Ralph's and get groceries.
He got his face right there in Ralph's. Do not let this man in.
Yeah, he's like, I can't. I'm banned from Whole Foods. And it's like, all right, there we go.
All right. Yeah, I got a kid now. I didn't know he was perverted this whole time. Yeah, I think that so I mean, what didn't you like about Trigon?
Because here's the thing, Flash. They talked Flash up.
Vash.
That's Stampede. They talked him up like, yo, you don't want him to get active, because when he gets active, I was expecting this dude to be the motherfucking boogeyman when he got busy.
He was.
And I just didn't feel that. Like, I mean, I like Wolfwood better, to be honest, but it's just like, that was the thing. Like, I was expecting a lot more action from Trigun. It felt like
it had a lot of deep thoughts, like.
Yeah, because I mean, it was a thinker in a sense, and I didn't mind that aspect of it. But they talked him up so much like he was this G, like he was going to just smash on everybody in that sense. And the fact that he didn't do that in more episodes than he probably should have, it made me go, bro, like I don't like what's the deal here? Like, I think if he would have got active, did you watch the new one?
I didn't watch the new one. No, I didn't watch the new one either.
I heard the new one's a little bit. I heard mixed things about it, to be honest.
I think with Vash, when it got serious, I like the aloof type of guys, but when it get active, it's active. Like Archer, I think people like him was like, Archer is silly, but when it's time to get active, he got active. But I think with Vash, like when homie came with that Gallic gun arm situation, and he was fucking that prison up, Vash got busy, and he didn't fuck around. I think the only thing that was, I would say, that kind of was annoying about Vash, that I didn't mind that I didn't mind initially watching it, but when I watched it again, was that he didn't kill nobody. And I think that's the thing that was just like, so it's just like every fight you really fighting with safety guards on. It's like, but the fact that you're able to do that without killing people is also show that you a dog too.
But I mean, yeah, but man, fuck all that, bro. Like, get people out of there, bro. They talked him up like he was this dude. And that was my thing. You can't talk a character up. It's like when you talk a character up and then you see him get busy, you're like, ooh, see. Like when Gojo talk about like, don't worry about him. I'll take care of him. I'll beat whoever ass. Blah, 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 blah. Then we saw Gojo get busy for the first time. You're like, oh, Gojo the real deal. Don't mess with Gojo.
He turned that nigga into a coat rack.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's the thing. Yeah, he spun. Yeah, it's like that's what I want to see. If you're going to talk somebody up like this, I don't want to see them. I mean, we always talk about Park Mujin,
Yeah, Park Mujin, yeah.
It's like, we talk about Park Mujin from Ghana High School.
Ghana High School, yeah.
And it was like, we was ready for him to get active. It was like, this
your guy?
Come on, man.
Yeah, I think Park Moon-jae, you put your damn hand in the fucking earth and then don't do nothing close to that the rest of the time. It's kind of crazy. What up, Proverse? Proverse in here. What's up, dog? Mike said, I like the fact that he was nonchalant until he needed to, like a Kenshin in that way. Did you like Rurouni Kenshin?
Did I watch Rurouni Kenshin? I might have seen some stuff. I might have watched some.
Rurouni Kenshin, you definitely should watch. The old one, I feel like, I haven't watched the new one, so I can't, but from what I heard, the new one is really good, but the old one is better, still.
Yeah, my cousin Dan, he said the new Trigun isn't bad.
Dens, is that your cousin that saw us at Comic-Con?
Yeah, Diesel Fit.
Had that bullshit One Piece stuff on?
Him and the whole, that shit was hard to me because him and the whole crew was like,
that shit was cool. That nigga was like a celebrity that day. Everybody stopped him to take pictures, and he was doing, because I think he was Ace de Gohas or whatever the nigga name is, the fire nigga name. But yeah, everybody was trying.
I thought he was the beard dude, or
I thought he was Ace, or maybe he was. I can't remember. He can answer in a second. I can't remember who he was, but I thought he was Ace.
Yeah, Dan. Who were you at? It wasn't Comic-Con. It was
Anime Expo.
The Anime Expo. I forgot who he was. I thought he was.
But he took a big picture with a whole bunch of other people, and
yeah. Because also too, him and his friends were in hella shape too.
Yeah,
so
that's the thing. Yeah.
They were like shirts off. It's like I can't even pull up a real collar. I wanted to be a Nosuke. I was like, I can't pull up a Nosuke right now.
A Nosuke with a belly is crazy.
Because here's my thing: if you're gonna pull up a Nosuke and not be in shape, you have to not be in shape.
Yeah. To where it's like dad by.
Right. The way I'm built, it's just like you're just lazy, nigga. You just cut your sugars for like a month or two, and you would have been fine.
You would have been good, because Anime Expo is like the first week of July. So like, if you started training in like March, February, you would have been solid by then.
Yeah, I might not have been shredded, but I would have been like, okay, that's not a bad Inosuke, whatever the case may be.
Yeah.
But it's like, yeah, I can't. I saw like a couple of like really really fat Inosuke. I was like, this is hilarious.
That's funny.
Hilarious.
But an out of shape Inosuke is not funny, bro. Like, it's just like, all right, nigga, you didn't even try. You could have been Zenitsu, nigga. Cover up, nigga.
Just cover up. It's all good. I was trying to find like a costume or something like that. The last minute.
I remember we went to Little Tokyo and was looking, and them shits was trash.
Garbage. My cousin said his boy was Ace. He was Whitebeard. Yeah.
Whitebeard. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I remember they took that big picture and stuff. His whole crew had their shirts off. I was like, damn, nigga, I thought I was in shape. Them niggas, whole crew, we had what was that? We had what's that? We had some restaurant. All of them had their shirts off at the restaurant. Nigga, you got your breast out in front of the breast like it was a chicken spot. Full breast.
Clothes looking like some.
We look out of place. Yeah, you and I look out of place. We had on anime shirts, but them niggas in full costume. It's 8 niggas in full costume, and then just 2 dudes in t-shirts.
Yeah, D4 said, y'all coming back? Man, right now we just talking some anime.
We just talking anime, man. You know.
Right now, I still gotta get my stream straight, baby.
Yeah, it took us 2 hours to get that shit together.
Yeah, and it's still not how I want to look. I feel like my visual looks hella faded right now. It don't.
You look like Hisoka in the '90s, Hunter x Hunter.
Yeah, the lighting is terrible. My microphone isn't working correctly, so I had to use like the microphone of the laptop. And like I said, it took us damn near 2 hours to set this bitch up to get here. So
to get it to average.
Yeah.
But nah, man, it's just like when you see Ghostface and Raekwon making a song together. That's all this is. It's just like, oh, they drop.
Yeah, because I know Ice and I we both talk about we want to stream a lot more.
Yeah.
And definitely I'm gonna be streaming a lot more. I got like ideas, TV shows. Matter of fact, what's it called? I don't know. You ever heard of the X-Men, the original X-Men game?
Yeah, the side scroller.
Yeah. No. Well, it was for Genesis, Sega Genesis. I know you were super young when it came out. You might. What year were you born again?
I wasn't alive when the Genesis came out.
Okay. So this came out like '93.
Oh no, I was '93. I was alive. I was 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like he wasn't alive, nigga. So
I was just like a little fucking
much. So, I found this page right here, and you can play the game.
Oh, real? For real?
Yeah.
But is it the arcade, the one that's in the arcade where you side scrolling?
Nah, this is not the arcade one.
Oh, send me the link.
This is the Sega Genesis one, but I don't know if we can play it together.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I'll send you the link, but like I remember just playing that growing up, and that was like the game we played. Like, I don't think you can even see me. Hold on, let me go back to it real quick. OBS.
If you chat this for y'all, and then also too this for you, Keenan. Take Dragon Ball Z out of the picture. What's the best classic anime? What's the best anime that came out before the new big three? So before Bleach, before One Piece, and I think One Piece came out at a funky time. But outside of the big three and DBZ, what is the best pre-2001 anime? No, let's go pre-2000 anime. Pre-2000 anime. No big three. No Dragon Ball Z.
I mean, I might have to. I had to look up some when shit exactly came out. To be honest with you.
Perverse, you say Yu Yu Hakusho. Okay. If out of 9,000, Perverse, what would you give Yu Yu Hakusho? Out of 9,000, what would you give it? Dave, what up, Dave? Dave. That's Brooklyn Dave, man. What's up, baby? That's not fair on 21. So I mean, you didn't go back and look at all of the old stuff. You ain't went back and watched the old school.
He shouldn't have to. It's like it's one of those things. I mean, I guess if you're talking to an anime purist, you're gonna be like, well, if you didn't watch the Godfather, it's like everything that you're watching is essentially, made way for what you're watching. It's just like I understand some of the younger cats might be like, man, I ain't watching that old shit, nigga. Like,
he just said it. I can't do 480p quality.
That's what I'm saying.
Shit, some of that shit was 320.
Bro, and I'm not I would never knock anybody that started anime at a certain time and be like, bro, I only watch the anime on 4K. You want me to go back and watch pixels?
Yeah, that's
crazy. Bro, I ain't doing it. I'm not doing this 8-bit pixel anime shit. Like it's understandable. It's like if they revamp it, I would suggest you rewatch it. Like if they're like reanimating some of this stuff for sure. Because I think they're supposed to be reanimating Yu Yu Hakusho.
I think maybe. So I think it's just funny too when you say that because it's just like when people be like, boy, I whoop your ass in Mortal Kombat 1, and it's like, nigga, so I don't care. That game came out 30, 40 years ago, fam. Like,
yeah. So like, my cousin said he's biased. He said Yu Yu Hakusho's in his top 10, and he said and then so did Doug. He said Yu Yu probably. Then he said my cousin's also said he's a Gundam dude. I know my cousin. He's really big in the Gundam. Like he be going to the places and he'll get a Gundam, build it, stuff like that. So
like life size Gundam or like Lego size Gundam.
I think he got one. I don't think he got a life size one. I'm not sure, but I know he got one that's like fairly big, like probably like.
Oh, okay. I thought he was building it for himself and hopping in that motherfucker. I was gonna say that nigga cold. I mean, he cold for building that one too. Don't get me wrong, but
I won't be. Hey, if he had the space, I wouldn't be surprised if if he had like a hangar.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm building this shit.
I'll pull up on so many people if I built that shit. My Perverse said he gave Yu Yu Hakusho 8,000 out of 9. So it's like people. Yu Yu Hakusho, people love Yu Yu Hakusho, man. So I don't see that other side that don't like it. That's just such a crazy, because usually when people don't like animes, it's like, okay, people think highly of it. They give it 85, 88,000, 7,000, 7,500, something like that. And then people be like, oh yeah, like 5,000, 5,500. So it's like, it's not their top shit, but it's somewhere in the mix. It's close. But for Yu Yu Hakusho, it seemed like either people love it or hate it. Like, I haven't really got a 5,000 yet. I got, like, under 3,000 and over 7,000.
Yeah. I mean, from what I've seen, like, one of my boys, boy Dave Shine, he used to live, when I used to stay with Keon, he was renting out a room at Keon's place, too.
Yeah.
And he was on me every day. Yu Yu Hakusho, bro. It's top one of one. Nothing's like it, bro. And I was just like, all right, man. Then I remember when I told him I was finally watching season 1, he was hype.
Yeah.
You know, here's the thing. Like I said, when I watched it, like I said, I get it.
Yeah.
I get both sides of the spectrum. I get you watched it late, you're like, if you watched it when it came out and you think it's trash, I haven't heard that. I haven't heard somebody say like they watched it when it originally came out, or even within that 5 years when it came out, and said it was bad.
Yeah.
People that I heard that say it's bad now, they just watched it within a span of like 10 years or something like that. So it's like, I get that aspect of somebody being like, from an animation style, blah, 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 it's pacing slow, they're not being into it. But anybody that grew up watching it, I haven't heard them say, oh, nah, I give it a 3,000. They all say like it's in their top 10 from what I hear.
So only Gundam that I really watched like from start to finish is Iron-Blooded Orphans. So when people talk about Gundam, I couldn't really get into Gundam because I felt like I was watching a soap opera. Like, nigga, just get into Gundam and fight, bro. I don't care about all this other shit. Like, at least young me. Older me now, I haven't went back to Gundam to watch it as an adult. But young me, I was like, dog, I don't fight. Nigga, fight. Get in the Gundam and go to space and fight. I felt like I was watching The Young and the Restless as like an 8-year-old me, especially coming from a Dragon Ball Z where they were socking each other out to go to just people outside. I was mad when they got outside of the Gundam in the first place. Like, I was like, fam, but I also watched it in like pieces. I never watched a Gundam from start to finish.
I think the first Gundam I guess I technically watched was like, I think it was it Exo Squad? What is it called? I forgot what it's called.
Gundam Wing. Somebody even in my chat said Gundam Wing is their choice as the best pre-2000s anime. DK said that Gundam Wing is just the best.
Because my thing was just like, I mean, Iron-Blooded Orphans season 2 was really good to me. Yeah. I enjoyed season 2. Season 1 was like, it was kind of rough to get through.
It was rough.
It had some highs in there. I was like, okay, because we liked, what's the old boy name? The
Mika?
The main character?
From Tekken, the dude with the purple hair? Are you talking about Mikazuki?
Mikazuki.
Yeah.
I was a fan of him. Let's see, Exo Squad. Yeah, Exo Squad was like came out in '93. I watched it as a kid, so I don't know if anybody even remembers this show, but that's it. Or let me
You got to show your camera,
Oh yeah, I'll put it in my.
Yeah. What is that? That's some bullshit. That's some bullshit. Hell no. What is that? That don't even look. I ain't never seen no Gundam look like that.
Yeah.
Man, get that. That look like some X-Force shit.
And then they had a toy. I had a toy.
Man, hell no. Them niggas look like they should be with Bishop and Cable.
But they had a video game, everything. So it's like, look how trash that is.
Hell no, that's
that was technically my original. I guess I would consider that a Gundam. You know what I'm saying? I would consider that technically.
That looked crazy. That looked like like you go to Dollar General and they be having toys based on other shows. That looked like one of them toys. Like, look at my Gundam toy. And like, nah, that ain't. That's crazy.
So my cousin said Gundam is more about PTSD, war, child soldiers, not as much action. So is all Gundam mostly built like that?
I guess. That's why I said I felt like I was watching The Young and the Restless, nigga. That's why I was like, 8-year-old me did not care about that shit, bro. I was like, dog, fight. Get in. That's why I really didn't care too much for, even as an adult, when Iron-Blooded Orphans, the first season was whatever. Because when we went to go watch the second one, we damn near didn't want to watch it. We were just like, I don't know. But we went back and we were glad that we did. Because the second season was really good.
Yeah, because that was Brennan crying like a little bitch.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it's season 2.
Just watch
season 2, everything's that. You gotta give it season 2. I'm telling you, it's the greatest. And then we all said, we almost, we felt for him. We had moments where we teared up maybe, or like, got watery eyed. It's like, yeah, I felt that. That
sound design is underrated on that anime. When Mikazuki and that fucking rope and shit was like, whing, whing, whing. Like, the sound design was crazy. And like when the Gundams was getting fucked up and like you felt it, and we get stabbed, and when they be bleeding, Mikazuki was bleeding out his eyes and shit.
Yeah.
It was like you felt that shit.
But my thing is with that is like I never cared to go back to Iron Blood Orphans after that.
Oh no,
It's
yeah,
like,
same,
bro,
same.
it was like, all right, I watched it and it's done. With even when it comes to like I'm big on like I'll watch fight scenes over and over and over again. I'll YouTube a fight scene every damn day.
Did you
and
watch? My bad.
No, I was gonna say I didn't care to watch. I don't care to watch any Gundam fight scenes.
That's true.
Like,
I'm not a Met guy. Like,
yeah, I would say this. Anybody in the chat that's super into Gundam, I know, like I said, my cousin is. If you're into any type of Gundams, send me, put it either in a link in the chat or DM me the best Gundam fight scene in your opinion.
Yeah.
And I am going to watch it on stream and make sure it's like a YouTube I can watch. So I can watch it on here. I'm going to watch it on stream and I'm going to honestly judge this shit.
Yeah.
All right. And if it's really, really good, I might even watch the show and give the show a shot. So send me in your DMs or whatever the case may be.
Well, I don't know. They need to send a disclaimer when they send the fight, like, hey, this fight is good. I don't know if you're going to like the show. That's what they need to say. They don't just be sending a cold fight scene and then have us locked up for 30, 40 episodes of trash. So
and then the fight scene don't happen to episode 6.
Right.
You hoe.
At least say, hey, I don't know how you gonna feel about the rest of the show, but this is a dope fight scene. But if you want to stand on it, stand on it. But we gonna treat you like we treat everybody else, like we treat each other. If that shit is trash, we on your ass.
Yeah. Definitely.
Because the crowd, when we did animation, we had to stop fucking with the crowd. Cause the crowd picked because they started giving us some bullshit. So
they started to pick crap. They didn't want to recommend Kuroko, right?
Yeah, they did Kuroko. Yep.
I'll never forgive you niggas for that. I'll never forgive the Shun gang for recommending Kuroko no basket. Y'all feel like y'all thought that shit was funny. Being tortured.
We were tortured. We hated that shit. Yo, we hate that shit was trash. For that reason, I haven't watched a sports anime since. And people be like, Blue Lock is dope. Haiku is dope. And I'm like, I will never know because I'm never watching that shit. Because of what you did. Blame yourselves. Blame yourselves and Kuroko for why I'm not going to watch that shit. And everybody swear up and down that I would love Blue Lock. We'll never know. I'm like fucking Kanye. I guess we'll never know.
Yeah. You gotta watch Slam Dunk. That's the original basketball anime. I'm like,
absolutely not. The only reason that I might give Blue Lock and Haiku a chance is because I don't watch that actual sport. I'm not a huge soccer fan, and I'm not a huge volleyball fan. But watching something that I watch all the time, like football or basketball, it's like, fam, I can just watch the fucking Lakers play the Cavs. Like, why would I watch that?
That's the thing. They would have had to have made it more like some type of powers are involved, or like do it like how Demon Slayer is, right? It's like Demon Slayer, they're just technically sword fighting, but how they do it, it's like, the water pillar is this, the fire pillar is this. It's just like those technically things are not really happening from what they said, right? It's like they're really just swinging their swords,
right? But the
animation for us, from a visual standpoint, it gives you that. If they were doing that like in Kuroko, where they had to do where it's like, nah, he's a dude that, he has, it's not just his speed, but when you see his speed, it's like he's really breaking people's ankles and people are snapping. You see him, and you're seeing stuff to where it's like, all right, we can't see this when I watch, the NBA.
Yeah.
Then cool. But like you said, it's like, why would I just watch a cartoon version of the NBA?
Of the NBA, right. So I'm looking.
Unless you're getting...
My bad. No, I watched it. Somebody said, who said Golden Boy? Perverse said, don't sleep on Golden Boy. Golden Boy not for everyone. It got some girl, some lady that's what they call snatched right here. But this looked like a comedy. Comedy.
And the comedies have to be good. DJ V said, Blue Lock and Haiku are actually fire, and I don't even like sports at all, but those two are really good.
Damn, what's going on? Wait a minute. Hey, yo. Yeah, that's crazy. They got some girl with her titties just going crazy. Nah, that's nuts. I think this is a comedy, but I can understand Golden Boy.
It's a sports anime or
no? It's just like an anime. Somebody Perverse just recommended it. He said, "Don't sleep on Golden Boy." So I just pulled it up real quick and looked at the first episode, and it's just titties. Like just within the first minute and a half, is just titties. Nipples, areolas, you saw everything. All right.
Let me hold on. Let me.
Just go to Golden Boy, and then it should be like one of the first options is Golden Boy 1995 episode 1, and then go to.
I was actually gonna go to Blue Lock real quick.
Oh, go look at Blue Lock. Okay, yeah, bring up Blue Lock.
Best scene in Blue Lock.
I think the premise of it was somebody told me that the premise was like, I forgot. I ain't even gonna get to line. It was like you can take your team, like something about like only one person is gonna make it from the team, and I don't know. I'm gonna do a poor explanation of it, but something it's high stakes. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Whoever explained it to me, it was like the stakes of the game is not just like a regular game. It's like it's pretty high stakes.
Okay. Ooh. Okay.
Are you watching the trailer, or are you watching for what you looking at?
I'm looking at it. I put in best scenes from Blue Lock, and it was like scenes from Blue Lock that broke the internet. So this is supposed to be some of the best scenes from the show, supposedly. The animation looks pretty dope though. That I'm watching. Ooh, see, this is what I'm talking about. Like, he hit the soccer ball, hit him in the face, bust his face open. And right now, it looks like they're like not actually on a soccer field either.
The uniforms look. I guess they just training, so I don't know if that's actual uniforms, but the uniforms look cool.
But since some of these actions was like kicking legs, oh no, he's too fast. He's got the steals. Yeah.
Oh, they got the dude with the glasses, of course.
Of course.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
See, so to me, I'm watching this. I'm just like, all right. Some of these scenes are just still regular to me. It's just like I can't watch regular soccer when I can watch soccer.
I can literally watch Messi play if I wanted to. Yeah. Granted, he on his last go around, but still. Somebody Perverse said, "Don't get demonetized." My bad, Ice. I didn't know titties was gonna come up like that. If you recommend something,
was it on YouTube?
Yeah, but it was. She had on a shirt, but it was just like they left nothing up to the imagination.
Yeah, I'm guessing we can't get demonetized if we're watching videos on YouTube, right?
I guess we'll see. I mean, once we finish, YouTube will tell us like, "Hey, nigga, not again."
It's like, bro, it's on your shit.
You got it on here.
No, these fools demonetized, or they gave me they were saying they gave me a warning before a strike, but they're just like, "Yo, you can't watch. This video has to be deleted or whatever the case may be," because it was like I did a video like 4 years ago when I used to do social media logic.
Yeah. And
I got the video from YouTube. It's still on YouTube, and it's saying this video goes against community guidelines. Like the original video still has like 10 million views. Yeah, why is that up? And my video that has like 5,000 is taken down. Because
they're like, hey, that made us money, yours didn't. So we don't get that out of here.
Yeah, my cousin said the same thing. He's like, Golden Boy is a comedy, but it's perverted.
Hey, Perverse, let us find out you a freaky nigga, man. We just heard you just told on yourself, man.
Yeah, you a 69 guy.
Lock him up. Lock him up, man.
I don't want to be when titties pop in anime or whatever. It just pops up for me. I don't be going. Yeah, let me watch. Even when I was younger, I was never into like, you'll see you have like a crush when you're a kid. It's like you look at Storm was like, damn, they're fine. Yeah. But like I wasn't like, yo, I need to watch anime where they show the most titties or like they're showing girl thong. It's like I was never into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I wanted some real titties. Show me the real titties, man. I don't want that bullshit, that drawn bullshit.
Do what I say, not as I do. Yeah, exactly. Like YouTube, he said with that video I got hit for. He was like, yeah, YouTube said, do as I say, not as I do. Like,
right.
Nah,
like a parent, man. That's me as a dad, man. I'd be like, hey, man. You have a child at 17. I'm gonna murder you in cold blood. And you're like, but Dad, you don't worry about me, nigga. What about? How do you feel about like the Ninja Scrolls and the Fist of the North Stars?
I mean, I think those are classics. It's like I think I watched. We watched Ninja Scroll for the podcast, I believe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now that has some titties in it, some raw titties. Then there wasn't no see-through titties. Those had raw titties and a lot of them.
Yeah, but I feel like I was always into ninja stuff. So Ninja Scroll, like beside the titties, I wasn't even tripping on that. I was just like, the shit was just. It was like it had scenes where it's just like that classic '90s style, and it was just like it was rough.
Yeah.
I gotta watch Fist in the North. I haven't watched Fist in the North Star. I feel like since I was like maybe a young teen, maybe.
Yeah. You know what? I never really been. I like Fist in the North Star. I like Ninja Scrolls. But I never been a fan of. I don't even really know how to explain it. I guess big body animes, like where the characters are just fucking. I've never, because it's just like, oh y'all swole nigga. Even with Baki, I feel like it just be. Maybe that's why I like Baki so much. I like it when there's like a spectrum of sizes. But if everybody is cock diesel, then it's like,
yeah. What are we talking about here? It's like everybody's 6'8", 260, bro. Like, what?
Because I always sided with the nimble, fast, stick and move characters. Like those are the characters that I've always liked. Even in video games, I've always picked the guy that can move around and stuff versus the King K. Rool's or the Bowsers and shit like that. The big heavies. I like the Links and stuff like that can stick and move and you know and make shit happen like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I was kind of the same way. It was like I never played with like Venom and Hulk in some of these games. And I was
like Capcom, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I always played with like the not the super small guys either. Like I wasn't playing. I played with Mega Man a little bit, but like, it was always. I guess Wolverine is technically small.
Yeah,
but
you didn't play. You wasn't playing with E Honda.
Nah, but you know what's funny? It was like I hated him. I thought he was trash. And then when you got somebody that knew how to fight with that nigga, you can't even jump, bro. You can't even jump against him.
Yeah, because he'd go, yeah.
It was always the players, like the character that I used to smoke out, or even when you played like Street Fighter on super hard or whatever the case may be. Yeah. And you got to go through E Honda or Dazlim, you're just like, nigga, what is happening right? I'm gonna break my controller, bro.
Yeah. And then you get them and you can't play like that with them. That's like those high risk, high reward type of players where it's like it's gonna be a bitch learning them, but when you learn them. Yeah, and that's when people say they main them. It'd be like, okay, either you full of shit or you a dog.
Right. Yeah. Now, my cousin Dan, he said, my cousin Dan, he was small. He was a small kid growing up. Not to put him out there, but I'm sure he'll tell you. But I think the big buff body animes is what inspired him to do bodybuilding. He wanted to be an anime character, like in a sense. So he got super swole.
And that pause, he a big nigga. Pause. Like like,
so it's like, you know, it's funny. It's like our age gap is weird because it's like we have a pretty large age gap from a certain standpoint, but it's like you're like, well, I played that game too. It's like, why were you still playing these games when there was other systems already out? Like you shouldn't have been playing Super Nintendo and Genesis and maybe even Nintendo like that at all for real, because when you got to like, I guess, real video game age,
you talking about me?
Yeah. The PS1 was kind of like already out at that point.
Yeah, when I didn't. PlayStation 1 was my first console. So when the PlayStation 1 came out, I got it for Christmas. I got it Christmas of 98, and I was 6 or 6. So I got it Christmas of 98. And I was playing Crash Bandicoot. I was playing NBA Live with no Jordan on it because he didn't sell his rights. And I was playing. They had still to this day. I don't play it, but it's one of my favorite fighting games. They had Evil Zone. It was if y'all ever heard of Evil Zone, it's one of the best fighting games ever. I was playing Bloody Roar. I was playing and Mortal Kombat. Mortal Kombat 2 or 3 was on PlayStation 1. But I had older cousins. And they had the Genesis and the N64s and stuff. And that's where I got to like GoldenEye, where they had the NES and stuff. I used to play that. So I knew those games, but I wasn't one of those people that would talk shit. I didn't really start talking shit in games until like the PS2 came around. And when the PS2 came around, that's when like that's when you really would, at least for me, that's when people was like challenging each other. Because I don't remember people challenging each other too much to video games when the PlayStation 1 came, but when it was PS2 and like the N64, And then GameCube, when Smash Bros. Melee came out, like that's when niggas was really going after it. And then Halo, of course, I feel like took competitive gaming to a whole nother level.
Well, I think because too, online gaming wasn't a thing back then.
Yeah.
So it was like when we had, of course, you had to just have your homeboys come over.
Yeah.
I'll smoke you with some Street Fighter, some Mortal Kombat, and then you have a sleepover. You beat the games or whatever the case may be.
Right.
And then once you were able to play online with people, I think that's when everything changed. I think the whole gaming world changed in that particular sense.
Yeah.
Like I said, that X-Men game I just showed you, that was like our main game we used to always play. We used to like go over our friend Kenny's house, and like his mom would get us a pizza, and we were in a movie and a video game, and we'll sit there and play that fucking X-Men game until we beat that shit.
Yeah. It's a co-op game.
Yeah, so it'll be like me, him, and my brother, and we'll be playing with like 3 characters, and well, no, you can only play with 2 at the time because Genesis. So it was like we were playing in pairs of 2. Somebody died, you passed the controller.
Yeah,
and I think you had to play with I think one of the levels you needed like Nightcrawler.
Yeah,
because he had to disappear and get into the other side and hit like a lever or some shit like that.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, once things got to like the PlayStations and like I think really like you said, Halo probably changed everything.
Yeah.
And then Call of Duty, and then
because Counter-Strike was that nigga before all of them. Counter-Strike was him, and then Halo came and Call of Duty came and kind of washed kind of washed Counter-Strike out of the picture. But I remember Counter-Strike was huge.
Yeah, I don't think I played that like that.
Yeah, I didn't play it that much either.
But also too, I was late to but we got all our consoles late. But I think we got we got Nintendo, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, and Genesis like around the time when it came out. But then when it came to the PlayStation, my dad was like, "Yeah, bruh, I think we got PlayStation 1, and we might have got that like the year or 2 before PlayStation 2." You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to remember right now. Maybe or
I would have been mad as fuck, bro.
Because I think even when we got PlayStation, I don't think we bought. I think somebody either we bought it off somebody. I don't remember when we got PlayStation, the original PlayStation. We bought the original one in a box. I think like
somebody just gave it.
Yeah, and then I think I told y'all when I had PlayStation 2, my dad he got it early. So he was trying to sell it online, and he was trying to sell it like on eBay or whatever. And I'm gonna get like $1,000 for this shit, and then he held on too long, and then they re-upped on him, and then he wasn't able to sell it. And he still was like, nah, you can't use it. You can't play. I'm like, well, Dad, it's too late. Like, you can't.
It was already out by that time?
It was, because I think it had sold out, and then they re-brought it back out, and it sold again. And so he held it for too long. And then he eventually let me use it, but it was like 2 years later or something like that.
2 years later?
It was like a while later.
No, my dad would have had to see me, man. To have it in my face and know that you have it here. Nah, that's crazy.
He technically kept it in the room in the box, so I didn't see it like that. I knew it was in the crib, but I was still playing my PlayStation 1.
Bro, that's sick. That's sick as hell. When the PlayStation 1 came out, it was $300, bro. $300 in what year was this? 94? That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah, I definitely had a PS1 in 94. I didn't play PS1, and PS1 came out in 94?
That's what it's saying, but it must have been a crate. It must have kept getting sold out. Hold on.
No, I feel like PS1 came out in America like in 96 or something like that. Maybe I'm wrong.
December 3rd, 94. No, okay, it said in the U.S., September 9th, 95.
Still. We didn't get ours until like 99, bro. I'm dead serious. We didn't get ours until like 99. I remember the house we lived in, I was still in middle school. I was
my God.
I was in 7th, 8th grade in middle school. That was like 98, 99 when we got it.
No, I got mine in 97. I got mine in 97 because I was a kid. 97 or 90. Then 98 at the latest, I got mine. Because I got my Dreamcast in like 2000. And then I got a GameCube. And then I got a PlayStation 2 after that. But yeah, that's funny, bro. That was the only time when the Dreamcast, GameCube, and PlayStation 2, that was the only generation. I guess the Xbox came out, so that don't count. So now I didn't. But that was the most like consoles I had simultaneously. After that, I just picked one or the other. I went PS1, PS2, GameCube, Dreamcast, and then I went Xbox 360, Xbox One and 4, and then 5 now. But I feel like everybody skipped the PlayStation 3. I feel like it was just a general consensus amongst everybody was just like Xbox 360. I feel like everybody and their mama had a 360, and not a lot of people had a PlayStation 3.
I had a PS3. I got the 360 first.
Yeah.
And then I had got the Ring of Death.
Yeah.
And then I was like, fuck this shit. Like, I don't want this anymore. And then PlayStation 3, that's when they started. They had the free online play.
Yeah.
So you was able to play online for free. So I was like, I got to play online for free.
Mm-hmm.
I got to run no Ring of Death. I traded my Xbox in and I got the PS3. And I was heavy. When I had the PS3, shit, bro, all up until 2000. I started stand-up. I was already...
Really?
I started stand-up in 2009. I had the PS3 all the way up. When did they come out? Because I was playing it at least until 2011.
PlayStation 4 came out in 2013.
When did the PS3 come out, though?
PS3 came out in 2006.
So I was playing the PS3 at least until 2010. And I was like playing Madden and everything like that. So
I don't know. Somebody, Mike just said PS3 was king, 360 was bottom tier. Never. 360 was everything, dog. I feel like the 360 out the gate was way hotter than the PS3. And I think it was one of those things where, I mean, because it came out like a year before the PlayStation 3 did. So it already had a year on it. I feel like the Xbox 360 started to not necessarily shut down, but they started to knowing the one that was going to come out. So they started to kind of slow down. And that's probably where PS3 probably picked up on the back end. But I remember, at least in St. Louis, everybody had 360s. And maybe because it was cheaper, but everybody had 360s growing up.
Well, I mean, I like the Xbox more. I thought the graphics were a little smoother, but it was just like, once that Ring of Death hit, I was just like, bro, I paid too much for it. Because I think I bought that Xbox 360 with my money.
Yeah.
My dad didn't buy it for me. So I bought that was like the first console I think I bought with my bread.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like, to me, I just couldn't understand paying this and this thing does not work.
Yeah, the Red Ring of Death was crazy. And I think that's what hurt its sales tremendously. Because people was just like, I'm not going to, I'll spend the extra money just to get a more quality console in the 3. So I feel like that hurt its sales. Because that Red Ring of Death, there was a period of time where there was no coming back from it. Then people started, it was like, oh, all you got to do is open it up and blow this one thing off and your red ring is gone like that. To where it's like, everybody knew how to fix the red ring, but that shit didn't come till like after a year after the red ring was just bricking consoles.
Yeah, I remember what happened. That happened, and then I got my PS3 on Black Friday. So I think I traded it in, I had some money from it, and then I went on Black Friday and got the PS3 for like $250 or something like that. Mm-hmm. So to me, that wasn't a bad price. And I bought like 2 or 3 games with it. Yeah,
PS3 was I never really played PS3, so I can't really comment on it too much. But I did get the 4. I got the Xbox One and the 4, and the 4 was great. The PlayStation 4 is probably one of the best consoles ever made, just hands down. I think the best ever. If you were to ask me what's the best console ever in life, the PlayStation 2, hands down, in my opinion, is the greatest console that's ever going to be made.
To me, I would probably agree with that. I think that when the PS2, it changed everything. I was all in. I think the PS4, people. I know a lot of people that they don't even play on their PS5 because their PS4 still gets the job done.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people that because I was gonna buy a PS5. Somebody was like, "Just get a PS4." I was like, I can't see myself backtracking on a system and the new system's out.
No, that's crazy. No, whoever told you that they don't love you. That's crazy.
Like, just get a PS4. I was like, unless somebody's selling me a PS4 for like $100, maybe even like $150, maybe. Because
you're gonna be this. They're not making games for it anymore. So it's like I'm gonna make something and I'm gonna play fucking Madden 22 on it. Like what the fuck? What am I?
Right, yeah. I might as well just keep my Switch the way it is, and then because at least with the Switch, it's still putting out games here and there, and they're not putting out the good shit, but at least with that, it's like I can still buy some games, and they're updating it to because there's no new Switch.
You're better off going on stream on just buying stuff on your computer. buying Steam on your computer, because a lot of the games that's coming out on the 5 and the Xbox is on Steam. Some of them, not all of them.
But that's only on PC though, right?
That would be only on PC. I mean, no, it'll be on your Mac too. You can play some of them. You just have to look at the compatibility on some of them.
Oh yeah, I'll do that.
Yeah, because it's just like, it depends on the game, but some of the better games have MacBook compatibility as well. You just have to check before you download it. I don't think it will show up on your feed if you can't download it on Mac, but I might be wrong. But yeah, man, I think all in all, we just wanted to hop on here today. Obviously, wanted to get Keenan's stream up and running and just get the kinks out, and so we can do this on a more consistent basis. Obviously, with us doing it separately, but we do want to come together. I mean, at least once a week, if not, more, but at least once a week. If not, if we can't get our schedule aligned, every other week, to get together and talk anime. But it's gonna evolve into us looking up stuff and talking about it together. And who knows, we can keep getting together and doing different things on stream though. But I'm just glad that you guys pulled up on us.
Yeah, man. Appreciate y'all. I know I've been saying on the stream for a very long time.
Right.
And it's finally here. If you guys, I don't know if this movie's gonna even be playing in your city right now, but I'm actually in a movie called The Gutter.
Yeah.
It's a movie about a black bowler from the hood, and he takes up bowling and he starts with some ass in there. So I'm in there. Tony Baker's in there. Keon Poli's in there. I think his name Shamik, that plays Spider-Man.
Shamik Moore, I think it is.
Shamik Moore, yeah. He's the main character in there. I think Susan Sarandon's in there. I think it's Susan Sarandon. But yeah, it's my boy Yasha Lester. He wrote it and directed it with his brother. So that's I think that's his directorial debut, him and his brother. And those are fellow comedians, and so. If it's in your city, man, The Gutter, man, support it. We're going tonight to go watch it. So, yeah, it's only playing, I think, in a few theaters. So
that's cool. Yeah. That's always dope. Whether it's 5, 10, 100 theaters, to get a theater run of something that you worked on, seeing yourself on the silver screen is crazy. So, shout out to everybody that's involved in that project. I'm definitely gonna go pull up. Not tonight, but I'm gonna definitely pull up and support that, because that's what we need. We need to support each other and support each other's project, because we always talking about why ain't more black people, why we ain't this, why we ain't that. It's because your asses ain't in the seats when we go do these things. So make sure y'all asses in the seats.
And this is one of those comedies I think is going to be kind of a throwback, at least from the scenes that I saw when I was there. It's going to be kind of like a throwback, edgier. It like most people will probably see some things, but like this should be canceled.
Yeah. Like
they're gonna be talking some wild stuff in this particular, from what I remember. So when I see the finished product, we'll see what they cut. But like there are certain scenes that I was watching, I was like, oh, okay, that's okay. They're gonna get away with it. They're going for it, and I appreciate it because it was funny to me.
Yeah.
So
hell yeah.
Man, thank y'all for pulling
What's the name of it again?
The Gutter.
The Gutter.
Gutter.
Yeah, make sure y'all pull up. I'm gonna take a couple hours break, and then I'm pulling back up just to play some games, to hop on stream. So pull up on me in a couple hours. I appreciate Mike, Perverse, Dane, CJ, DK, everybody that pulled up on my end to support. Pull up back on me in a couple hours. I'm gonna be playing probably like GTA or something, or Helldivers. I don't know, but the couple weeks that I've been streaming with y'all has been great. I got my dog Keenan on board now, finally. So I'm glad to have my dog with me to talk anime and do different other things on stream with. So it's lit.
Yeah, I'm gonna give a shout out to DJ Novocaine, DKR King Kong, T Hawk, Slow RC3, Still Rocks 33, DJ V. My lady pulled up for a second and put the nerd glasses on there. Man, that's my cousin. That's my blood relative right there, man. I think I say DJ V. Yeah, man. I thank y'all for pulling up, man. Doug. I think Doug Scruff, DJ D Ford, And yeah, man, y'all pulled up, man. I appreciate every single one of y'all for pulling up my technically my first real stream in a sense. I streamed with Roxy, but technical difficulties in that too. So.
We had an 18-second stream in the beginning because we started and it didn't start, so I had to pull the link, put it back up. I'm like, nah, we gonna figure this shit out, man. They got it. They've been asking for you, so we got to get you outside.
Yeah. So yeah, going forward, you'll see. I gotta get some stuff fixed. My microphone is messed up, but you know, it'll be better soon, guys. I promise you.
All right, y'all. Y'all be easy. I will see y'all in a couple hours. And then yeah, see y'all. Peace.
Peace.